everybody. So I had a hankering for something sweet tonight. I don't eat sweets very often, but when I want them, I want a lot of them. So usually I like to eat fruit or Jell-O or something, or my ambrosia salad that I love and make so much. But tonight I'm making lemon bars, and it's with 2 ingredients. You need a Angel Food cake mix and 2 cans of lemon filling and topping, or lemon filling. Okay, so we're going to take our cake mix, and let me lower this down so you can see that. Two ingredients. I mean, can you get any better than that? Okay, pour it in the bowl. Alright. And that's out of the way. Now, 2 cans. It's like lemon pie filling. You know what I'm talking about. Shoot, it doesn't want to come open. Might have should have. Ooh. There we go. Woo. I don't like wasting anything. Well, that stuff is thick and creamy. And we're going to use 2 cans of this. Get it in there. We need every yummy drop, don't we? When y'all were kids growing up, your mama made a pie or a cake or icing for something, did she always give you the beaters or the bowl to lick? My mother did. Oh, that one came open easier. Right. And that's a lot of stuff, isn't it? But with only 2 ingredients, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, get yourself in there. I want to get you all in there. Alright. Now you just mix it up by hand. Oh, that makes it thick too. Woo! Oh, wow. I'm getting going too fast, and I'm knocking some of it out of the bowl. Man, that looks good though. Now, I've had these before, and they are really delicious, and I'm surprised that I don't make them more often, you know, because you can eat them in the evening after you've had your dinner. You can even eat them for breakfast. I've certainly had them for breakfast before. Yeah, we're getting there. Look at that. Oh gosh, that looks good. Oops, there's a lot of that down in there. Wow, that is thick stuff, isn't it? To get all that cake mix, it's hiding down there in the bottom of the bowl. I don't want to pour it out and have a big glop of cake mix. Wow, look at that. Woo, and that is thick. Thick, thick, thick. Okay, now I've already sprayed a 9 by 12 pan. I just sprayed it with Pam. we're going to put this in it. Well, I may have some to lick after all. Woo, that's almost like sponge, y'all. I mean, it just bounces back at me when I'm trying to stir it up. That is interesting. Wow. Interesting. Well, there it is. There it is. Now we're going to put this in the 350-degree oven for 25 minutes. Now we're going to take it out. See you in a bit. Okay, y'all. It's out of the oven. It's cool. And let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I put powdered sugar on it. And here's what it looks like cut. And it's spongy. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to tap it. It's a spongy thing. Spongy. But it's really, really good. And the end result was great, but it was getting to that end result. that was a disaster. Look, here's where Tully scratched me. See that? Okay, so I mix this up. I put it in the pan. I put it in the oven. I got to lean against the sink. I'm worn out. Oh my God. So anyway. So I'm looking in the oven, and I'm watching this thing rise and rise and rise. And it was like a volcano fixing to erupt. And it was absolutely started to spill over the sides of this pan that it was in. And I watched it starting to run down the sides. And then I watched it plop down on the rack, the oven rack, under the pan. You know, it reminded me of those, I think they're called stalactites that hang down from caves. I think that's right. So I quickly ran and got a great big cookie sheet and put under the whole thing, just under the rack. But it continued to rise up and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And this thing, remember I Love Lucy, when she was cooking bread in her oven, and it got so big that it blew out the oven door? Well, I'm sitting there thinking that this is going to happen. I mean, it's a sponge cake, and it's really, really sticky, and it's going to be a mess. So I needed to get that sponge cake in that pan out of that oven before it just became like I said, a volcano. So I got a round cookie sheet, and I got a spatula, and I worked that spatula behind that pan, the baking dish, and scooted it onto this round pizza pan. And I set that whole thing on top of the stove. Well, it had spilled all over the sides, and it was just been big, huge blobs all over the sides of that pan. It was everywhere. It was a mess, a horrible mess. So then I had to get the oven rack out, because if I let that stuff stick on there, I'm going to have a horrible mess trying to clean that up. So I got a kitchen, I can't even talk. I got a kitchen thing, a towel. Let's use that. And I worked that rack out, and I brought it over to the sink, and I put it down in the sink. And when I did, it hit the side of my arm, all down one side of my arm. See that right there? All that redness. I mean, look at that. It's all the way down. I burned the dickens out of my arm. Oh my gosh. So Okay, so I'm trying to get the water on that rack and start scrubbing that stuff off. Trying to get it off there because it's going to stick and it's going to be awful hard. And then I get the pan out of the oven that I had put under the rack. And of course it's loaded in this stuff. It's all over it and it's burning on there and it's sticking to it. And I get that over here and I start scraping and cleaning on that one. So then I took this mixture that I've got in this glass pan on my stove and I ladled all of that into a new pan. Not all of it. No, I left out a whole bunch of it. I labeled it all in there and I spread it out and made it nice and flat in there. Then I put it back in the oven. I cooked it for 25 more minutes. Well, it came out fine. Yeah, it came out fine, but I mean, I had one heck of some work to do. I had to clean all those pans, clean the oven racks, clean the stove. I had it all over everywhere. It's terrible. It's a mess. I will not make this again. I made it before, but I tell you what I think happened. The lemon pie filling that I used was a bigger can than the one I used in the past, but it was only bigger by 1 ounce each can. But apparently those 2 ounces was enough to make that stuff bubble up and foam out seriously like a volcano coming out of there. Well, it's good and it tastes good and it's gonna be good, I guess, when I eat it with my coffee. But I won't make this thing again. No way. Nope. Anyway, it's a mess now. I've got to go put stuff on my arm. Maybe wrap it up in a bandage. I mean, seriously, this has been the worst day, I swear. I did not intend for it to turn out this way, of course. But I wanted to tell you the truth. I didn't want to just ignore it and not even mention it again. I needed to tell y'all, so I did. Anyway, as good as it is, I would not advise making it at all. So there's my review on my own food. Bad. Thumbs down. So y'all have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.